Ascended Master André, Magical Time Approaching. Via Christine Preston. July 19, 2016. Website: Galactic Federation of Light.wordpress.com. Produced by Higher Self.
Christine, André, my ascended twin flame, tells me, by the method of telepathic communication, how important it is to him that we reunite. This is true for other ascended and galactic, as well as angelic beings. This is about a reunion without interference where existing relationships are concerned, and in which free will is preserved, and it's all part of a development and fulfillment within the divine plan. Because of the situation that will be explained in a minute, many ascended beings will have to create bodies. I mean in the sense of creating a lower vehicle by will to come among us. They will slip into them, then while we carry out our sacred labor of the recreation of Gaia, some of us will have 400 years to live in physicality before we reintegrate with our higher selves. This coming together should start occurring within 2 years, at the same time as what has been called first contact. It's at that time that we will be given healing in light chambers and can also undergo rejuvenation and transformations. Before that, André stresses that we should focus on healing, as well as going to bed before midnight, so there is time for the angelic hosts to lift us up to the etheric retreats out of the body when we sleep at night. We can then be taken to healing chambers and receive treatment upon our finer bodies, which will trickle down to the physical level. I have experienced healing lately. 3 minor conditions which I have been suffering from and which have persisted for a year, are on the way out. However, one of my problems is that I don't go to bed early enough, and that's why André has insisted in our communication this morning that I realize that it's important. After I started taking note of what I remembered of our telepathic conversation, he dictated to me the following message by telethought transmission. André, dear ones, many beings are experiencing love as if they were the polarized extremities of a flame, and it's because it's their nature, it's how they were created, and they are the magnetic mirror version of each other, like one being that was split in 2 in incarnation. And sometime one is in embodiment and the other is not, and the other can be ascended. It is when you are ascended that you realize most of all the magnitude of the importance of the reunion I am talking about. At the deepest place of soul level we are one, and yet we remain incomplete without that reunion if one's other half is in physicality. In order for many of you to reach that time of reunion, it's important for you to have enough sleep and be healed. Many old souls, galactic ones, ascended masters, and angelic beings, have sent an extension of themselves into embodiment to carry out a sacred labor or mission for the recreation of civilization and of Gaia. And although you may think that 8 billion people or inhabitants is a lot, there are still souls in need of physicality that are unable to incarnate, and some do but not for long due to the high rate of mortality on Earth at this time. Many have been aborted as fetuses, and many people lose their life because of the atrocious conditions prevalent on Earth today. For this reason, I do recommend you all do your best to survive to reach that time of transition which is getting closer, because of the importance of achieving an ascent in physicality, of lifting up the place of vibration of the material world. This results with a ripple that reaches the extremities of the universe, and when you ascend, you do so for your galaxy. Having said this, nothing is not lost when souls have lost their lives and are classed as discarnate, as they are sent to the mystery schools upon the higher realms in order to achieve their ascension from that side of the great river of life. They can ascend without their bodies, then they can create one by will at a later time. The ascended masters can do this and walk upon the physical earth among mankind without having gone through the process of birth, of being a child, and of growing up to the adult state. It's all part of the divine plan at this time. All souls, including those that are in embodiment, can also attend the mystery schools upon the higher realms in their finer bodies when they sleep at night. You can make the request before you go to sleep of being taken to those schools, as well as the etheric retreats of the ascended masters and the archangels. Many tutors are on their way to help the souls of light to ascend in consciousness, rise in vibration, as well as to create a golden age. The shift to fourth density, at the end of this year of 2016, is one that will place the souls dwelling in the consciousness of the fifth dimension in conditions in which new laws will apply to their lives. Effects will be created faster out of causes, and prayers, visualizations, will have their results faster. The calls will compel the answers at a faster and more potent way. There, however, will be a need for control. This power cannot be given to mankind unless peace and calm rule their hearts and minds, and they are in the process of integrating Christ consciousness. So the bulk of mankind that does not dwell in the consciousness of the fifth dimension will not pass, will not enter the kingdom. This crossing over to a magical kingdom is not yet, will not yet be the kingdom of heaven on earth, nor the fifth kingdom, as this will follow later. This is just the decompression chamber, the decontamination one, in which purification is still taking place. It will be a time of transition to another jump, a quantum leap to higher life, to the fifth dimension for your physicality. But before that can happen, there is much work to be done, much healing to take place, and teaching must be given, alongside disclosure, and must be received in the company of saints and galactic beings who are assisting, and also will be involved because of their sacred connection and relationship with you, the incarnated ones. You who are in embodiment have to take your bodies and lives very seriously, as well as remember the value of other lives, not only because lives matter, as they say, or because the rights of every human being should be respected. This respect for life derives from the love that the Universal Mother and the Great Central Sun have for all beings. The value of your incarnation and of your bodies should also be appreciated because millions of souls are unable to enter physicality due to the rate at which lives are lost on earth. We are coming to put things right upon the surface of this world, and help you to restore righteousness in those matters in which you are powerless in the face of the conspiracies of the dark powers, which have oppressed mankind. This planet is able to sustain billions more inhabitants. It has certain resources as yet undisclosed or undiscovered. With better organization and new technologies, and when solutions are introduced to eliminate garbage and recycle waste, and produce food, as well as create housing, the population will be increased. There will not be any financial problem. There will be prosperity, and everyone will be cared for and will contribute to society in the way that suits them, and free will be preserved. You will not have to worry about repaying a mortgage, nor whether your pension will be sufficient in your old age, because you will not be aging, and the process of rejuvenation, as well as healing, has already started. Healing doesn't take place directly at the physical level yet, but is given when you are out of the body at night. You are taken to healing chambers while you sleep. So survive, and look after yourselves, and do not work too late if you can avoid it. If you feel a vibration surging up your body, you are being given healing even while you are awake. You should be getting used to paranormal experiences of this type. Have a good night's sleep and attune with your I Am presence daily, especially first thing in the morning if possible, before you get out of bed, and before closing your eyes to sleep after you have gone to bed. Have a thought for your ascended masters and your guardian angels, as well as the archangels. Call to be bathed in the light of your I Am presence, or for the violet flame which provides solutions to personal and global problems. Remain in Archangel Michael's protection as well as his legions of the first ray, so you are not affected by the human effluvia of those who are broadcasting hate or negative energies, because something in their psychology has not yet been resolved. Pray that they may be cut free from all that does not represent Christ consciousness and according to God's will. It just takes a few seconds to raise your heart and mind to the powers that can send you healing, illumination, the resurrection flame, and to guide you upon the path of the ascension. Make those calls lengthier if you are in a situation that permits it. Remain protected in the tube of light that keeps you free from the negative energies that are still being generated in your psychic and physical world. You will be more protected from all of these third-dimensional creations after you have crossed over to fourth density. You are multidimensional, so you exist upon a number of levels and dimensions at the same time. Towards the end of this year of 2016, when you are taken up one notch higher upon the ladder of these levels, you will have access to grounds which you could only previously reach for fleeting moments, and you will forever be unable to sink down to the base that previously constituted the bottom of your spectrum. You will not disappear from the sight of those ones who will be able to partake of this fruit of the esoteric tree of life, this divine consciousness, and you will still be moving in the world as usual in physicality, but in a higher form than the one you have experienced so far. You will soon notice that miracles are taking place. The time of transition will be one of disclosure, of great encounters, of teaching, of learning, of discoveries, of new technologies and transformations, but also of healing, rejuvenation, enlightenment and great achievements. It will be magical, a time when dreams come true, a time of happiness, of resurrection or reunion, of love, and of great celebrations as the ancient prophecy concerning the role that the earth was to play in the end days, this time of ascension, when physicality was to be lifted up to a higher frequency of vibrations, will have been fulfilled. As Lord Sanat Kumara has stated it, the solar system is presently in a stargate that it penetrated on September 28, 2015. Its destination is the Sirius constellation and the star that the Hopi Indians have called Kachina. This was transmitted by André with love and light.